everyone. Welcome to LexTalk, World Talk Show presented by ClickAway Creators. Today we have Ms. Prachi Agarwal with us, a graduate of National Law University, Jodhpur, and having done her LLM in Intellectual Property from the George Washington University Law School. Ms. Agarwal worked as a patent prosecution assistant at Virginia before starting her journey at Anand and Anand. Ms. Agarwal is now a partner at Anand and Anand and is intricately involved in IP litigation, including patents, trademarks, copyrights, and designs. Ms. Agarwal has been a part of the team that has procured various landmark decisions, including the decision in the first post-trial patent litigation in India. Ms. Prachi is a licensed attorney in the Commonwealth of Virginia and is registered with the Bar Council of Delhi. She's an expert in the field of patent litigation and legal research while having detailed knowledge of trademarks, copyrights, and designs again. Having more than 10 publications, Ms. Prachi brings to the table her expertise in the field of intellectual property and is an asset for the legal fraternity. Yes, of course. Hello, Prachi. How are you?
Thank you so much for the introduction. I'm good. How are you?
I am good too, Prachi. Thank you for asking. So, from Jodhpur to Virginia and then back to Delhi, how your journey has been as a legal professional so far?
Well, the journey has been great, and I would just briefly share how I actually chanced upon doing law. So, law was never my first choice. I wanted to be an engineer because growing up, I had seen a lot of engineers in the family, and I was good at science and maths, and they were one of my favorite subjects. And law just happened, and I mean, luckily, that time when National Law University Jodhpur started, they were offering this program of BSc LLB, which means you could do like science as well as law. And that's when I was like, okay, I don't want to give up on science, but a mix of two different, kind of. You have science and law that would be interesting, and then I read up on it, and I think from the beginning itself I knew what intellectual property law was. And I think throughout my law school I wanted to like be an expert in intellectual property law. So like a lot of times people decide on their specialization much later in college, but I think I didn't want to give up on science, and especially like patent law, it was something very interesting, and till today I think it's one of my favorite field of law as of today, even though I am practicing in other intellectual property rights. And then Jodhpur happened, and again I wanted to do my masters and work in another country for a few years. So that's what happened. I was there in George Washington University, again specializing in intellectual property. And then after getting work experience for a few years, I joined Anand and Anand, and it's been great. I'm a litigating lawyer, so I enjoy appearing in court and I enjoy the subject. So yeah, it's been wonderful. So yeah.
Thank you, Prachi. So, after you have been working with Anand and Anand now, and in India specifically. So, please tell us about your most memorable case and any key takeaways from there.
I think the most memorable case, I mean, I have worked on a lot of one, but the one which is really special to me is the Roche versus Cipla judgment. So that is a patent litigation matter. So which was, it went on for many years. It was the first patent post-trial case in India, and it was the first time, like before Roche versus Cipla, we had to borrow precedents in patent law from other jurisdiction. But Roche versus Cipla was one judgment which actually set the precedents for patent law in India. So there were, I mean, it's a lengthy judgment, and it has probably more or less most of the most important concepts of patent law. So in fact, for anyone who wants to understand the patent law and what are the different issues involved, it's a good start to read the judgment. And I was a part of it, and I feel extremely proud and privileged that I had a chance to work on that particular matter, and it was very exciting. And in fact, when the matter actually concluded, there was a big withdrawal as to, we won't be working on this matter again. But it was a great experience, and I had a good learning experience also in that. Yeah.
Well, I'm really glad to know that it worked out fine. So, when you're talking about your specialization, intellectual property litigation, right? And so, my question to you would be that how do you look at IP litigation this year in 2021, and how do you think it's going to change 5 years down the line?
I think, as we can all see, we are all in the middle of a pandemic. So it's, one of the most, I think, ongoing, or rather upcoming. I wouldn't say that that industry was not prevalent earlier, but now I think it's become even more crucial for us to have these kind of drugs in the market. So I think the most development or most controversies which are happening, and even challenges which are happening, is in the field of pharmaceutical industry, which is where there is a need for a balance of intellectual property. Because on one hand, if you don't protect all these inventions, there won't be any drugs in the market. So it's becoming more and more challenging that, in such short time, we need to have drug in the market. We need to have enough, you know, R&D which is going on in these industries. And at the same time, because it's something which is the need of the hour, and, there's a lot of demand because there's a pandemic going and everybody needs a drug and everyone can't afford it. So it's also important that there should be a balance. So one of the most important developments which are going to happen is definitely the pharmaceutical industry. Having said that, it's not like that there are not going to be developments in the other kinds of intellectual property, because as you've seen, now we are in a phase where everything happens on the internet. Like, you are your Amazon, your Flipkart, your whether it's your Instagram, everything. So there's so many challenges which are happening because of, infringements happening on the internet, whether it's your marketplace infringement, whether your content infringement. And then, with the OTT platforms, there is I mean, just that the players have changed, the platforms have changed, and it's become very easy to copy content, have infringing products on the internet, not being able to track down the infringers. So those are the different kind of challenges which we are facing, where we have to somehow, the identity of the infringers is not known, for example. So different kind of challenges have been thrown about. So I think, and the new IT guidelines have also come. So it's, the law is changing every day. And I think pretty much. But I would say, yeah, pharmaceutical industry, there are a lot of challenges which are being faced right now. So I see a lot of development which is happening in that particular area.
Thank you so much, Prachi, for sharing such great insights with us. So, before we come to an end to this conversation, what advice would you like to give to the budding lawyers?
Well, I think first and foremost, hard work, very important. There are no shortcuts. You have to work hard, and it's not like you have to work hard for first few years of your career or when you reach a certain stage. It's constantly there. Only your role keeps changing. When you start off as the junior most member in an organization, it's different, and as you go up the ladder, your responsibilities change. But you're working as hard and sometimes even harder as you keep moving on in your career. And of course, you have to be constantly updated with what is going on. So reading is very important. You have to know what are the how the law is changing, not just in your particular jurisdiction but across the world. So those things are there. And one thing which I notice a lot in youngsters these days, there's lack of patience. They want to get success too quickly. I think you need to be extremely patient and go through your own journey. And if you have the dedication, sincerity, honesty, and hard work, and you're doing all those right things, and keeping yourself updated with law, and I think success will happen. So you need to be a little patient, and most important is you have to be extremely humble. No matter how successful you are, you have to be extremely humble, and there should not be any arrogance. So that is there pretty much. I mean, I think that's what my advice would be to all the young lawyers. And intellectual property law is a great field. So if you, and also there's one more thing I want to add. I know I started with saying that I wanted to do patent law because I really like science, but there is a myth that you can't do patent law or intellectual property law without a science background. So if you are interested in something like that, go ahead. It's a great subject, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
Thank you so much, Prachi, yet again for sharing your experience and contributions with us. We really look forward to having a chat with you again on some other topics from the international legal space. For our viewers, if you like this chat with Prachi, please like and share this video, and also subscribe to Click Away Creators YouTube channel to appreciate what we do. And you have more coming from industry legal leaders like Prachi. This
Thank
is
you so much.
Bharti. Thank you. Thank you so much, Prachi. And this is Bharti for LexTalk signing off.